Blender design of 3D printed joint corner for extruded aluminum series 3030. We first measure the component parts involved in the process. In this case we measure the dimensions of the screws and extruded aluminum profiles series 3030. After making the measurements, we move on to the design of the part in the 3D Blender software. To make it easier to see and understand the commands used on the keyboard or mouse, you have a graphical representation of the mouse at the bottom left of the screen and displaying given commands. Pressing the N key on the right side of the screen will display the transform panel. In this case, to transform this cube into the desired part, we start by changing the dimensions from 2 mm to the current size at 60 mm for the X and Y axis and 8 mm for the Z axis. We select the Edit mode. Select the Face button. Now by right-clicking on the faces we can select them. To delete a face, select the face by right-clicking, then press the X key and select Faces. Now we erase all the faces we don't need anymore. We return to the Object mode. Now we can see that although the faces are separated from each other for 3D software, they remain as if they were a single object. Changing the size of a single face on any of the three axes will lead to a similar change to the second face. In order to be able to modify a single face, we go back to Edit mode, we select one of the faces, then we select Mesh, Vertices, Separate, Selection. Now we see that the selected face has a red outline, which means that we now have two objects. We go back to Object mode and see that now the two faces no longer move together. Also, the change in the size of one face no longer has an influence on the other face. Then select the back face, go to Edit mode, select the Edge Select button and right-click on the left edge. Now press the E key and type 30, then press Enter, do the same at the right edge. Now we need the two separate objects to become one object again. For that we go to Object Mode. And while holding down the Shift key, we also click on the face that has no contour to select it. Then select Object. Join. Now all faces have become one object. Now go to Edit Mode again and press the Select Vertex button. Now with the right click we can select separately any vertex we want. To create a new face while holding down the Shift key, select right click the desired vertex. Then select Mesh, Faces, Make Edge Face. We do the same on the right side, but this time after selecting the desired vertices we press directly the F key. We do the same at the top and at the bottom, and thus we get an object with all faces closed. Next we go back to Object Mode. In the left panel we go to Create and select Cylinder. We introduce for the X and Y axis 5.2 mm and for the Z axis 20 mm. We make sure that the first object has all the origins at 0, then we select the cylinder and we bring all its origins to 0. We will make holes in the first object with the help of the cylinder, and for this both ends of the cylinder must protrude outside the object. We position the cylinder in the place where we want to make the hole. With the right click we select the object to be drilled. In the right panel select the Modifiers button. Add modifier. Boolean. Difference. Cylinder. Apply. We're checking the hole. We do the same for the other holes. At the end we delete the cylinder. In order to print the object to a 3D printer we need to export the file as a STL file. To prepare the file for printing we go to a slicing software and after selecting the printing parameters we export it as a G-code file.